do think, what's attractive about owned content and things like press releases are that you really can control the message. But what you can see is that will only take you so far, just given, the prevalence and importance of a Reddit, of a Quora, and then of a place like Wikipedia, where you're not necessarily controlling the message, but at the same time, it's, how do you influence it? How do you have a strategy for, for these places where you might not necessarily have complete control, but you want to sort of have a dialogue with your users and really make sure you know what's being said about you. So I think that's an added component where, yes, you do have to relinquish control a little bit, but at the same time, it's a level of additional influence to think about, in addition to, of course, then the owned messages you're putting out.
And part of that is also just like the way that that answers and content are showing up in AI overviews is not necessarily your words. So structuring your words in a way, assuming that they'll probably change, like the LLM that's reading them is probably going to summarize them in a way that may not match exactly how you've perfected that exact blog post or press release.
I also want to say, I think what's interesting, if you look, and I know this is on later slides, the outlets that get a lot of play are frankly ones that are not behind a paywall. So like an Axios, a Time, I think it's, important to note that. So I do think that makes it also a valuable part of a comm strategy, is to think about, does an outlet have a paywall or not?
Yeah, and to what Jordana said, I think an omni-channel approach to content, right? So having a consistent message across all your content platforms will increase the probability that the LLM will pick up the right message, right? Because based on the prompt someone uses, it could, you know, proliferate with a bazillion different messages and interpretations of your brand. So I think the broader you can be, your breadth of content, your consistency of content, and your conciseness of content, I think will be the difference between winning and losing, because none of us can predict what these LLMs are going to pop up associated with our brands.